Hello, it's Molly here from Ponder and Ply. Welcome back. I promised you I would have a month of making for you. I've gone down to once a month so that I can actually be held accountable for my vlogs and do something that's actually achievable for me. So I am back for, what month are we in? Do you know what? I've lost track of time. We are now in May, so I'm going to share with you, I keep looking at the camera rather than we are now in May and I am going to share with you all of my makes from April, two of which I am wearing. I'm kind of squinting at the camera. I'm filming way later in the day than I normally do, and the sun comes round, and I've closed all the blinds, but we're renting and they're shitty white blinds and the sun's like in my face. So my eyes are small, but they're like extra small because I can't see a bloody thing. So anyway, I hope you've all been keeping well. As I mentioned last time, I'm not going to be talking too much about this whole lockdown quarantine situation, bar a few sentences that I'm going to have in my intro now. Quite frankly, I'm bored of talking about it and hearing about it and thinking about it and worrying about it. So we're still on lockdown in the UK. I am still working from home. I am busier than before I started working from home, and it's tiring me out. I am struggling quite a bit, but I know how lucky I am to be able to work from the safety of my home. So that's that, yes. So this whole month I've been super busy with work and I just wish I could knit all day. That's what I really want. I just want to be able to knit all day. Anyway, that's enough of an introduction. I'm just going to get on with what I've been making. So like last time, I'm going to start with what I finished this month. I've got a couple of things finished for you. So this right here on the top layer is my latest crochet creation. Oh, actually I didn't show you the one that I finished before, okay. So let's roll back. I finished my first ever crochet project, which is the So Granny Cowl by Natty Thread. Got there eventually. I am so happy with this. I have a accidental on purpose twist in it. Okay, so there's no twist in the design. I had no idea I twisted it until I was like 6 rows in. I'm not gonna go back. I wouldn't go back if it was knitted, so I'm not gonna go back if it's crochet. It's my first ever project. I used up more than 300 grams of scrap yarn that I had about. Pop it on for you. It's incredibly warm in this flat right now. We're stuck on clips. We're very lucky to have gorgeous floor to ceiling windows, a beautiful view of London, but it gets like a greenhouse when the sun comes round. Like I said, it's in my eyes and it gets so hot that I literally can't sit in here. For those of you that don't live in the UK, we don't do air conditioning here. It's warm for like 2 weeks of the year normally. I mean, this spring has been bloody beautiful, so air conditioning just isn't a thing. So when you're hot, you just have to roast. I did have the balcony door open, but people are shouting and hollering outside, and that's not conducive to good podcasting atmosphere. So yes, I am wearing a t-shirt, a jumper, bikini top, and now a cowl. So I will take this off very quickly. I just wanted to show you. So when I fell in love with this project, was able to it's an easy, simple project for a beginner crocheter, because you literally just, it's like a granny stripe blanket where you crochet in the spaces. Let's be honest, I'm not going to be very technical with any of this language. I still don't know what I'm talking about. I'm not sure I'll ever know what I'm talking about. I knit a lot. I design, and I still don't know what I'm talking about with knitting, so I'm never going to know what I'm talking about with crochet. But anyway, it was very easy, very doable for a beginner. I fell in love with it because I saw this picture of Natty in Thread where she had her hood up and it was like around her shoulders, and she just looked really cool, and I wanted to look that cool too, but I don't think I look as cool as she does. I'm very aware that I've made a cowl and it is spring, and that I probably won't be using this until the autumn time, but it was a nice starting project and it was fun and I used up my stash. I've actually set myself some goals to encourage me to use up my stash because I have so much yarn. I have so much yarn, and then whenever I start a new project I seem to order new yarn for that project and the rest of it just sits there. So in true project management fashion, I made myself this little spreadsheet where I get points for using stash. So I've made these little columns. This is a complete sidetrack, but I'm going to tell you anyway. I make these little columns and they're different things. So I've got one for my designs, I've got one for things in my Ravelry queue, I've got one for, well, I actually made this before lockdown, and I had one for travel knits, where if I'm on the tube or travelling anywhere for work, they're like small projects. I have a test knit column, so I fill in all of my different things that I can do and any of the ones that I have queued or that I've started. And then when I complete them, each row has points associated. So things like that are my designs, test knits get higher points, and things that are just out of my Ravelry queue get lower points. And then I get bonus points for every skein of yarn I use from my stash. So every time I use a whole skein, then I get an extra bonus point. And I also get bonus points for new skills, hence why I'm doing so much crochet. No. Anyway, the goal is for every 100 points I get, I can buy yarn for a dream project. So I've got a list of about 10 to 15 projects that I really want to make, that I want specific yarn for. So every time I reach 100 points, I get to purchase that yarn for myself. Outside of that, I'm not buying any new yarn apart from for test knits. So if I'm doing a test knit and I don't have something that I can use in my stash, I will be buying yarn. Again, for my designs as well. But anything outside of that, I'm not buying any new yarn. So I have to start making use of my stash. I've got about 35, 36 points at the moment. I suspect it's going to take a couple of months for me to hit 100. I also get things off of my dream list if I hit certain following goals on Instagram and on YouTube. Actually, maybe I should add YouTube, but no one, I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, I've got set some big goals for myself. So if I hit any of those, I will gift myself a little treat. Just for congratulating myself. Nice pat on the back for staying on top of my pictures and stuff, which is actually really hard when I'm working full-time and I'm knackered at the end of the day. I got distracted. Anyway, there's a point system because that's the way that my competitive brain works, and it's organised into and colour-coded, and it all got equations in it, self-calculates, which pleases my project management soul. So that's really great. Anyway, I got a fair few points for this because I got a bonus point for learning new skills, aka crochet and whatever stitch I was doing, can't remember. And I used the equivalent of like 300, I think about 350 grams. So I got 3 bonus points for 3 full skeins. The half skeins don't count. I know, I'm being really hard on myself. Anyway, so this is gorgeous. The only thing I would say is that it looks a hell of a lot bigger on the lady that designed it, Natty Thread. And I wonder whether it's because I'm just really tall. I feel like we don't talk about that. You know, all of us follow each other on Instagram, we talk to each other all the time, but I think we'd be really surprised in person because we never really see how tall each other are. I had this conversation with a few of my girls the other day and we all shared our heights because I had no clue. So I am 5'9", which is pretty tall. I'm not like exceptionally tall, but I'm taller than quite a lot of girls. Above average at least. Anyway, I digress. Yes, this is one of my makes that I finished near the beginning of April, and I'm very pleased with, and I can't wait for the warmer weather. I was thinking like nice dark outfits and then this over the top for a flash of colour and drama. I feel like it's really dramatic. I feel like I might have messed up my hair. Oh yeah, my hair. Guess who's blonde now? Yes, I got bored. The plan is not to stay blonde. Please do not have a cow. I've already received plenty of messages like, why did you get rid of your ginger hair? First things first, I'm not a natural ginger. So I've only changed to another not natural colour. haven't given up something that I was gifted. I would love to have been born with ginger hair. Anyway, second, it's a bit of fun, I'm bored. Third, the blonde was only a lightning step in the middle of me being able to do some more fun colours. I have peach waiting for me. I might try a pink. It's all a bit of fun while I'm not on client site with customers. And 3, it's my hair. Piss off. No, I love all your comments. Please message me all the time. I'm really nice, I swear. No, but it is my hair and I'm just having a bit of fun with it. Okay, I've been talking for ages and I've only shown you one finished object. So anyway, that's my Not So Granny Cowl by Natty Thread. I keep want to say Fred, but it's not. It's really, so many English people do that. Some Fred, when it's a TH they make an F sound. It really irritates me, but then I end up doing it myself. Who am I fooling? I am common as muck. Anyway. So, can you tell that I haven't spoken to people very much? I mean, I've been on work calls where I have to be very sensible. And now I feel like I can't get my words out quick enough because I'm such a talker and I don't get to talk very often. So yes, that's one of my newest projects. The next one I'll talk about is this one right here. So this is another crochet project. I know you thought you were coming onto a knitting podcast, but we're all about crochet these days. So this is by my beautiful friend Chelsea at Rose and Rose. She made this bikini pattern. It does have matching bottoms, but I haven't made those yet. I will be making those at some point. But I really wanted to get the top done because I've been wearing it around the house instead of wearing a bra. Definitely need the support, but bras are so uncomfortable. So, oh, I'm losing my voice. That's no good, is it? When I've got a lot more to talk about. Anyway, I absolutely love it. It was a really easy pattern to follow. It's so well written, and I'm not just saying that because I love Chelsea to bits. As I said, I've only made one other crocheted item before, which is the cowl you just seen, which is obviously a very simple, if you can make a granny stripe blanket, you can make one of those. And I was able to do this with zero help. I literally just, as I came to a term that I didn't know in crochet, I just YouTubed it and did it, and it fits perfectly. You can't actually see because I've obviously just put it on over a top and a jumper, but I'll pop in some pictures along the way for all my projects so that you can see the photographed version. I am so happy with it. It fits so nicely. It's really supportive. So the bottom string threads in and out of the bottom, which actually gives you way more support. Otherwise I think gravity would pull my boobs out the bottom. Not a good look. Gravity really isn't my friend, or yours actually. It's not your friend, I'm sorry. I have realised that through working from home. So before all of this madness, I worked from home once a week and I enjoyed not wearing a bra. And so I thought I could do exactly the same thing once this all started. But actually, 7 weeks now, or whatever it is, of working from home, and I can't get away with that anymore. A, it doesn't become very comfortable. B, I swear, they'll be on my belly by the end of all of this if I don't keep them supported and snug. I digress again. Anyway, I absolutely love this pattern. I couldn't recommend it more. I will be making the bottoms at some point because I have quite a lot on my whips list. I will tell you in a minute. I'm not making them yet. I don't really have anywhere to wear this. Although it's been very sunny in the UK, it's still not warm enough to lay anywhere in a bikini, and I've only got a little balcony anyway, which doesn't get much sun, so I haven't really got the chance to lay in it, but I will be making it at some point. So then underneath is my latest, and I was going to say latest and greatest, but that's not true. It's just my latest finished object, and it is my beauty school top by Poison Girls. I've had this in my queue for the longest time. I love all of her patterns. I made one of her jumpers at Christmas, and I just really wanted a Barbie jumper. So as you can see, I've got exactly that. So I showed you this yarn in the last podcast actually. It was from Piratenwolle, which is a German company I found on Etsy. In this, like, it's got like pink and then it looks like purple, but I think what's happened is the blue has mixed in with the pink and it's got like indigo. It just fits so nicely. I did the neck that the longer neck, like the mock polar neck, is that what she calls it? Mock turtleneck, I think she calls it. I had intended on doing the 3/4 length arms, but I missed like 24 rows and then bound off. I don't even know how I did it. Somehow I missed 24 rows. So I ended up doing not short sleeve, but not quite 3/4 length, but I'm actually quite happy. When I sort of pull this down, it sits quite nicely on my elbow, which means it sits very snugly. And yeah, I'm quite happy with the length, so I ended up not ripping it out and repeating the same on the other side. It's not just, I am lazy, but it's not just because I was lazy. I actually ended up really liking it. It's a really nice length. It finishes like 1 inch or 2 below my belly button. It's very fitted. I made a size medium. The only thing that was annoying is I only used a little bit more than 2 skeins of yarn, and I hate that when you like, I really wish if I made the short sleeve I probably would have only used 2. And now I've got like almost a whole ball. Maybe I'll save it for like a scarf or a shawl or a mixed project in the future, but I just find it annoying when there's a bit left over. In terms of the pattern, I thought it was really good. It's not as hand-holdy as some of the other indie patterns. There are a couple of places where I think things could have been explained a little bit better. I think it's not super beginner friendly. It's not beginner friendly, but I think it could be confusing for a beginner, and I would say like a beginner with a few garments under their belt really would be best suited for this as a minimum. I will be making more. When I do make another one, there are 2 changes I'd like to make. So actually, if I rather than sit here in this the whole time, even though I love it, so it fits really nicely. I find it really snug on the shoulders, on the arm. The neck fits really nice. 2 issues with it. So I haven't got a bra on now, so you can't really see, but so I've got extra fabric around here, and then it's really pulled across the chest. So I have a 38-inch bust, so I fit very comfortably into that medium size bracket. It's also pulling up way more at the front and it's longer at the back. This suggests to me that I need to do bust darts. Now, I have a very small back. I wear a 32-inch bra, but the measurement of around under my boobs is 29 inches or just 29, 30 inches. So I'm not like a cylinder as these patterns assume they are. I'm much more front heavy. So I always have a little bit of excess around the sides and the back. But I found in this pattern it's really noticeable and it pulls quite a lot up at the front. I've managed to pull it down and stretch it, so it's not really the biggest issue. But when I make this again, I'll definitely be putting darts in. I might even size down because it's a little bit loose on my tummy if I wanted it fitted. So I might go down to a small but then put in some darts. I'll report back. I'm not planning to do that anytime soon, but it is something I want to do at some point. I love the yarn. I think it's beautiful. I haven't actually blocked this yet and the yarn smells of sheep, so I'm just walking around smelling like sheep. I'm kind of enjoying it. No one's smelling me anyway. I love sitting in my rocking chair. It's so comfortable, just rocking backwards and forwards, getting further and closer to the camera. So this is my frame, no it's not my framework bralette. I do have one of those too. It is, oh, I'm tangled in yarn on the floor. This is my Contrast Racer Bra by Jessie May. It was a test knit. I have posted one, oh, itchy nose. I have posted one picture of it already, which I got loads of compliments on the photography. I'll put a picture in, but I was balanced on the bathtub with a hand over a spot over the lights in my bathroom, a foot on the side, and then like balancing a tripod. somehow I caught a cool picture, but it was far from elegant. It's one of those ones I wished that I had taken a photo of, or had someone take a photo of me doing that, because what I was doing looks nothing like what I managed to achieve on the camera. Bit of Instagram reality for you. But I actually had a really cool photo shoot planned for this, and I was waiting on a prop that was meant to arrive in a couple of days, and 3 weeks later it still wasn't here. It has since arrived, so you will be seeing those photos soon. Hopefully I haven't built up your expectation too much, but I think it's quite a nice idea that fits with the colouring of this. I think this is a super cute pattern. I'm super happy with it. I fell in love with it when Jessie posted it a really long time ago. The only thing I would say is that if I was to make this again, I would extend this bottom band quite considerably. I might even size down for the bottom band and then size up for the cups. The construction is super interesting. I love that I won't tell you too much, but the cups are not shaped in the way that she shapes her ripple bralette. The decreases happen centrally rather than at the sides, which leaves a very interesting pattern on the cups, which I've really enjoyed. Just the nerd in me enjoyed the construction of that. But other than that, it fits really nice. I really love the racer back. It's really flattering. I'm not sure if you've seen how many of them you've seen. I know that there's a lot of them bouncing around, but I feel like they look amazing on everyone. It's a really flattering shape and it's really comfortable. The only thing I have to work out is what bra to wear underneath. This isn't supportive enough for me to wear without a bra. And given that I chose white, it's a little bit see-through. Still working that one out, but I really do love it. I love all of Jessie's patterns. I think they're all so well written and well designed. So yeah, that is all of my finished objects, which I think is not bad. A jumper, a crop top, a bikini top and a cowl, all in the month of April, and you haven't even seen my whips yet. Okay, so let's talk whips. I have, I think, 4 to talk to you about that I've actually made some progress on. I have others that are sitting around, but I just haven't done anything with, so I won't touch on those. The Monroe top that I was designing that I showed you last time is kind of on hold because I did a load of German short rows and I'm not happy with them, so it's sitting in the naughty corner until I'm ready to pick that up again. That will be picked up at some point. Watch this space. But yeah, for now it's in the naughty corner. So on the topic of Jessie May, I've joined the bandwagon really. Everyone started making I keep on getting the name wrong. My Little Secret crop? I think I might have got it right that time. Well, the one that she did as a mystery cowl, and then everyone's kind of made since. So I have started my own one. Oh, actually, while I've got you here, I can show you. I've got this cute little stitch marker from What Mustard made, and I love it so much. It's so cute. Brings me so much happiness, a little glittery heart. So I have used Soxier in some kind of burgundy colour for the ribbing. I made the ribbing a lot longer than the pattern because I wanted it really fitted and secure, so that maybe I can wear this one without a bra. And then the colour on top is Skein Queen. I think it's called Summer Houses in DK. It's so squishy. This yarn is like unbelievably squishy. I love it so much. The colour's so nice. I feel like it's a party. I love colours that have a neutral this has got like a very pale pink and white background, but loads of different colour specks. If you can see. Oh, I just think it's so gorgeous. And it's just so squishy. I don't always use indie dyed yarn, as you probably know already if you've seen in the others. I quite often use cheapest chips acrylic yarn for projects. I don't have the means and I don't think it's necessary to buy indie dyed yarn all the time. However, I do like having it, and it is a treat, and luckily enough for my size, considering that I've used a contrast on the bottom and I will for the straps as well, that I'll have enough yarn to make this whole top just out of one skein, which I had lying around in my stash. This is an entire stash knit, so I'm getting good points for this. I'm going to get 2 points, I suspect, bonuses. and it's knitting up so quickly. I only started it a couple of days ago, and it's absolutely flying by. I've actually had a request from my mum to make her one too, so she wants one of these. I'm going to do it in a baby blue. Again, I've got a really nice baby blue. I think it's Debbie Bliss in my stash. It's her favourite colour, and the more I think about it, the more I want a baby blue one too. So let's see how that goes, but I may be making 2 baby blue ones this month if I don't get sick of it. But yeah, that's coming along really nicely. It's nice to have when I'm on like phone calls for work, when I'm just like listening in and don't need to take notes, so I'm like knitting away. I can't remember if I showed you this one last time, but I have a lace weight pattern that I'm working on, and it's going to have an accessory that comes with it that's also a gauge swatch. So I'm going to give you a quick flash. Boop, boop, boop. Let me show you the yarns. I definitely showed you the yarn last time. I don't think I showed you it knitted up. But this is the lace weight yarn. It is Malabrigo in Arco Iris, I think. So I'm not going to tell you any more about it, but I am working with that in the background, and that might be next month or the month after that I have a testing call for that. Please don't be put off by lace weight. It's so beautiful. The drape you achieve is unlike any other yarn. Like no other yarn weight can compete with the drape of lace weight yarn. It's also on 3.5mm, I think. I think it's on 3.5mm needles, which so it knits up pretty quickly. And also it's there's so much bang for your buck. So much bang for your buck in lace weight yarn, because you get so much yardage in one skein. So it's good for your purse strings too. Okay, next one. Flying through these now. The next one is a test knit, and it's really out of my usual colour range. Yes, that's black. So this is the beginnings of the Debrie cardigan. It's a brioche cardigan, hence Debrie, by Disco. Is it Disco Stitch? I had an absolute mind blank for Disco Stitch. I'm pretty sure it's Disco Stitch. Oh, that's Holly anyway. She has designed this awesome cardigan. You've probably seen it around with these big brioche sleeves, statement sleeves. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. So I am test knitting for her. I had a bit of a fiasco with the yarn. I ordered from Love Knitting, or Love Crafts they're now called. And usually this comes very quickly, like 1 to 2 days, no matter what, even if I just go for the standard postage option. But it took like 2.5, 3 weeks to get to me with everything that's going on. And then it arrived, I sat down to start and realised that I didn't have the right size needles, which I should have checked anyway, but very rarely do I knit chunky things. And when I do, I've got like one chunky size. So I needed to order some needles, but these came really quickly. I just got them off Amazon, because Prime delivered really fast. I'm such a sucker for Prime. I think he's such a twat. I think he's such a twat, but it's so convenient. Anyway, so I am doing a black body with black sleeves, but with pops of colour in between, like with the brioche. And I have been inspired by loads of Russian tapestry. I was looking at Pinterest, and there's these loads of like gorgeous royal blues and mustard and red and pink. So those are going to be my pop of colours on the sleeves, all twisted together. I should have it finished by next month. So next month's podcast, tune in and you can see what I did. But I actually went with black, which is not always my current colour scheme, but I thought it would be really nice statement piece with the bright colours in the sleeves, and then it will go with everything. So I own a lot of bright clothes and dresses, and then it will fit really nicely over the top. I'm really excited about this one. It's knitting up really fast. I started it like 2 days ago, and I've done both side panels. And then I'm going to work on the back piece today and tomorrow, and before you know it I'll be starting on the sleeves, and then I'll have another cardigan ready. So I'm really excited about that one. What else? Plans for the month. So obviously I plan to try and finish those whips that I just told you. So I want to get my accessory pattern done. I want to get the Debrie test knit finished. I would love to finish my secret little secret crop, you know, that one, the Jessie May one, and also make one of those for my mummy. Oh, my mummy. My mum's one of the most knit, so I don't knit for other people very often, but my mum is one of the most knit-worthy people. She's got quite a few of my jumpers, both things that I've made for her and then things that I have knitted but don't really wear anymore. I have quite a lot of older vintage jumpers that don't really fit me in the way I want them to, and we're a similar size. So, well, she's actually considerably shorter than me. I'm the giant of the family, but we're a similar size width-wise, so she generally wears a size medium. So yeah, but she has asked for a nice summer top, and I gave her some options, and that one is the one that she wanted. So I will be making one for my lovely mother. She's a lucky lady. No, she is super knit-worthy, so I don't even mind doing it. I'm such a selfish knitter. There's so many people that are so nice and like knit for their partners. I mean, I've made Illy one jumper and a hat at some point when we first got together when I was trying to be impressive and lure him in. But that doesn't happen anymore. We've been together too long. And I just don't care. No, I do care, but other priorities like making myself a whole wardrobe of knitted garments that I can wear something different every single day. Anyway, I'm holding this because I showed you this last time. This is the mohair that I got from What Mustard Made. I didn't even tell you. So I'm going to jump to Stashquisitions really quickly. I bought a yarn winder and Swift this month, and it has changed my life. I feel like I've been knitting for like 9-10 years. Not so seriously at the beginning, but I learned about 9-10 years ago, and I never got myself one. And I wind everything by hand with like my knees up on the sofa, like this, getting in a tangle, and then you can't get up until you finish, and it takes an absolute age to do anything. So it's really exciting that I have now got, it's really funny that shadow from the door was not there before. The light's all changing in here and I'm getting a headache from staring at it. But anyway, I got a yarn winder, and it's changed my life, and it's amazing, and you should all do it because look at this. And it's so satisfying to do. Anyway, this I want to make a prima donna turban by Poison Girls. I think it'll look really cute, and I might even do it and then dye my hair that peach and be like peach, and then get some like peach lipstick and just like peach drama. So that's something I also want to start this month, but we'll see, because if I'm working on my lace weight pattern, do I really want to be working on this? I'm working on very, very fine, lightweight things at the moment. So the Debrie was actually a really nice relief for my hands and my fingers. Because I've been doing a lot of knitting in the evening at the weekends, I have been getting some extra pain. I had to give myself some little massages. But yes, that's my plan. Do I have any other plans? I don't know. We'll see what happens. Check back in next month to find out what I ended up doing, if I ended up doing anything at all. Outfit change. So this was actually a stroke of genius that happened after a very stupid moment when I realised that my battery was dying and then died mid-sentence. I would, yeah. Well, it allowed, ugh.
Blah, blah, blah.
When I break my flow, I don't know how to talk anymore. I lose the ability to talk. The light has changed again. The shadows are moving. I'm not doing it at this time again in the afternoon when the sun is moving all around and messing with my light. But yes, so my battery died when I was wrapping up, telling you a few things that I've enjoyed this month, ready to close the video. And so I had to wait for it to charge. And during that time, I had a stroke of genius where I would get changed and give you a beautiful outfit change so that I can talk about what I am wearing. So this, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, is my latest design. It's been in test knitting. Test knitting is due to finish next Monday, and it is being released on Friday the 15th of May. That's really soon, and I've got to kick myself up the bum and finish it, all the last bits of formatting and photos and whatever. but you do not need to worry your pretty little heads about that. It will be released on Friday 15th. This is the Vivian Halter, for those that don't know. And if you don't know, have you been living under a stone or a rock? Why don't you know? Anyway, this is the Vivian Halter. She, as the name suggests, is a halter pattern. She is knitted. She has these beautiful little peekaboo windows to show your cleavage. Let me stand up, is like a crop length. So that's my belly button. She sits comfortably at my belly button, which means that things like this skirt that are high-waisted, let me just show you. So it sits here. Okay, so she sits very comfortably at your natural waist, not quite crop length, not quite full length, somewhere in the middle, or at least in my opinion that's somewhere in the middle. It's not like a little bralette. This for me was entirely on purpose because it meets the high-waisted garments. So all my skirts and trousers are high-waisted. This means that it should join with minimal, if none at all, gap between, so you're not having your belly out if you don't want it out. I mean, shorten it if you would like to, that is definitely possible within the pattern. One thing that became obvious during testing is that not everyone wants a window as deep as this. Different bodies, different levels of what's comfortable, different preferences. So I have added to the pattern levels of depth. They are rated on a scale from freaky to cheeky to breezy. So those levels you can choose what you find comfortable. My main aim is to make anyone and everyone feel sexy in their skin, and for some people that is not bearing all, or for some of my testers bearing a very low top. So yes, this is coming out on Friday, May 15th. Watch this space. I've actually got a few fun things planned, including a giveaway that's going to be up just before the 15th, and also some just fun content coming your way, all Vivian related, so keep an eye out for that. That was a nice little segue that I can chuck in there, but it will be going up on Ravelry on the 15th. Go and get your copy. Thank you. So I just wanted to quickly say, before I close this off, now I've finished self-promoting and everything, looking all glamorous in my Vivian. Also, my testers look freaking incredible. So I actually have a highlight reel on my Instagram, and you can also search the hashtag the Vivian Halter. Make sure you put the in front, the Vivian Halter. It's for the drama. You can search that hashtag to see some of my testers' photos, and you can also check out the highlights stories reel on my Instagram, Ponder and Ply, as I am everywhere. So keep an eye out on that, and obviously everyone will have their project pages up once the pattern is released. The last few things I wanted to talk to you about before I got rudely cut off by my battery dying is a couple of things that made me happy this past month. Number one, Gold Digger podcast. As you may have seen on my Instagram, if you follow me on Instagram, I did a post in my Scheme Crown, I'll pop it up here, where I talk a bit about imposter syndrome, something that's really affected me both currently and in the past, and something that affects a lot of people. If you feel alone, please go and read the comments on that post. Don't even have to pay any attention to me and what I've said, but you will be blown away by the amount of people, especially women, that tends to be my audience, but people generally that have been affected and have shared their stories. After reading all of those wonderful comments, I mean, well, not wonderful because it's horrible that people have to feel that way, but it's very it makes you feel like you're not alone when you read them. Just go and give it a read. On that note, I listened to this podcast called Gold Digger, Goal, Gold Digger, you know, like the pun, Gold Digger, very, very funny. And it's an excellent podcast. It's about female-led businesses, really. It's a lady that runs it that was once a photographer, and now she runs a big educational business. And she is very interesting, gets on very interesting guests. And if you are interested in all things business and social media, it's a really, really interesting podcast. So I recommend you check that out. And she does an episode on imposter syndrome, which is pretty insightful and inspiring. It's not very deep. If you wanted to go into that more, there's a lot of other resources that I'm actually looking into at the moment that I'll share when I found some around the psychology of it. But yeah, that's one thing I recommend. So I've really been enjoying listening to those podcasts this month, and I've been really inspired. Another thing I've really enjoyed is that me and the boyfriend have started binge watching all the XMen films back to back. Well, not back to back, we're not like watching one after the other, but we're watching them all in sequence. I'm really enjoying that. I've already got some knitwear pattern ideas from one of the films. I won't tell you which yet, but there's some ideas floating around in my head. So I've been really, really enjoying that this month. I have really enjoyed talking to some friends on Zoom this month. So a couple of my very close friends that I've met on Instagram. Sorry, it's getting kind of dark in here, isn't it? There's not a lot I can do. I'm sorry, I'm just gonna have to deal with it for now. And next time I won't film at this time, I promise. I've been talking to my girlies on Zoom and having sort of a knit and bitch session where we just knit and talk, and it's been really wonderful and a real break from work and being stuck at home. So I encourage you all, if it's possible, to reach out to friends and video chat them. And the thing is, I think I'm making an effort more in a way since being home, so it's quite nice, and I hope we all maintain this when we go back to whatever version of normality we end up going back to. I've also been enjoying getting back into cycling. So at the moment in London we're allowed 1 hour, oh no, it's not 1 hour, but one session of exercise a day, and that and food shopping is pretty much some of the only reasons we're allowed out of the house, unless obviously medical attention or whatever. So I've really enjoyed getting back into cycling, found some really cool places near me that I didn't really know existed, some really beautiful places. We're getting up pretty early so that we don't really come into contact with too many people, and I'm going to some cycles before work, or cycling even to go and get enough food shopping. It's actually been really nice to get out on the bike. I've really missed it, so I'm really enjoying that. So rather than ramble at you any longer as it gets darker in here and the shadows are moving, I'm going to call that a day. Thank you for listening to me ramble, and I have really appreciated this cathartic experience of talking at you non-stop, where you can't even talk back to me, because as I say all the time, I can talk for England, and I do all the time, very frequently. So yes, thank you very much for tuning in. I really appreciate it if you like, subscribe, comment, the general YouTube spiel, insert it here because I cannot be bothered, but it's really great to show your support and to stay up to date when I post videos, as infrequently as that may be. I promise to be back again next month with my latest finished objects from May, things that I've started, and my plans for June. Jesus Christ, where is the year going? It's flying by. Anyway, take care of yourselves. Take care of yourselves, take care of your loved ones, and I will speak to you soon.